Cooking for Health brings you nutritional information and tips, as well as cooking demonstrations and healthy recipes by local chefs.
Welcome back to Cooking for Health. Joining us today is Dr. Jessie Barnes with a message about staying healthy during pandemic times.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jessie Barnes, one of the family medicine doctors here at First Choice, the Centro Familiar, and I'd like to welcome everyone to a New Year's worth of Cooking for Health videos. This month we're starting off with a different theme than one that we've used before, which is ways to stay healthy during the COVID pandemic. We hope that this will still feel relevant and important to folks right now. We'll see a variety of recipes this month from our amazing chefs about ways to build nutrition and wellness into our meals. But first I wanted to talk a little bit about a couple general tips for staying healthy during these very challenging times. First of all, we want to recommend that everybody stays active. It can be hard, especially during periods of quarantine, but finding ways to increase our physical activity outdoors if possible, when the weather and the conditions allow, indoor workouts when necessary, projects around the house, but we want to make sure that we're continuing to stay physically active and aiming for a recommended 150 minutes a week of cardio or cardiovascular exercise that gets our heart beating fast. Secondly, we want to make sure that we're getting enough sleep. For adults, that's 7 to 8 hours a night. So it can be tempting, especially when so many crazy things are happening in the world, to stay up late checking the news or communicating with friends or just messing around on our phones. But put the devices down at least an hour or two before bedtime to help your body make enough melatonin to get tired, and make sure that you're getting a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night if you're an adult. Number 3, and this is a topic that obviously we talk a lot about during these classes, but diet and nutrition. It can be really tempting when we're under lots of stress to do what's called stress eating, but we want to try and separate sort of our stress and anxiety from our choices about what to eat, and we want to continue to focusing on eating the healthy food that's going to make us feel well and be healthy in our lives. Next, we want to make sure that we're setting aside time every day for some self-care. Whatever that means can be different from person to person, but some activity that's really just dedicated towards you and your feeling well and relaxing and enjoying your life. Next, we want to make sure that we're not skipping out on the recommended and necessary healthcare maintenance. We know during times of this pandemic it's been challenging to get doctor's appointments, and it's been scary to think about leaving the house and going into the doctor's office. But we've also seen that a lot of chronic conditions, things like diabetes, high blood pressure, have gone unmet. Those needs have gone unmet during the past couple of years, and that can have really serious health consequences. So make sure to schedule your regular appointments with your medical provider. Make sure that you're staying on top of all your medical needs. Don't let those drag on for too long without being met, as that can cause major complications down the road. Next, we want to make sure that we are actively coping with stress and anxiety. We know that these are stressful and anxiety-producing times. Pretending like everything is fine tends to just lead that stress and anxiety to build up to unhealthy levels. So we want to acknowledge the stress that we're all dealing with and work together to find ways, like we talked about before, to practice self-care and to let go of that stress as opposed to holding on to unhealthy stressors. And finally, and probably most importantly, we want to make sure that we are continuing to use masks when appropriate, given our health conditions, given the environments we're in, how crowded they are, how many people are there. And we want to make sure that we are staying up to date with the COVID vaccines, as well as all other recommended vaccines. So hopefully if you guys practice some of these recommendations and put some effort into these areas, you can continue to stay healthy and well during the pandemic, because we look forward very much to seeing many of you in person once we're able to resume in-person Cooking for Health classes. I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos this month.
Cooking for Health is brought to you by First Choice Community Healthcare, Agricultura Network, and La Cosecha. Special thanks to Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Mexico for funding this project. Thank you for joining us, and check out the rest of our videos to see healthy recipes to share with family and friends.